10 Unusual Facts About Females That Are Definitely True. There are many books for how to understand women, but not so much information about social and biological and social fact that connect to female, like women see more colors and women live long than men. These and many other facts we will review in this video.
Women see more colors.
The average human can perceive 1 million different colors, but researchers suspect that a small percentage of women may be capable of seeing 100 times that amount. Women have always doubted this. Now a new study has confirmed that men have a far higher chance of struggling to tell the difference between hues, as 1 in 12 of them are colorblind compared to 1 in 255 women. Researchers at Newcastle University also believe that some women may be able to see 99 million more colors than the average human being. Vision is one of the most complicated senses. How the eyes perceive color is broken down by ocular cells called cones. Each allows you to see around 100 shades. Individuals who are colorblind, however, have only 2 types of cones, and are called dichromatic. Each of the 3 standard color detecting cones in the retina, blue, green, and red, can pick up about 100 different color gradations. Dr. Jay Neitz, a renowned color vision researcher at the Medical College of Wisconsin, estimated. However, the brain can combine those variations exponentially, he said, so that the average person can distinguish about 1 million different hues.
The average woman will eat 4 pounds of lipstick in her lifetime.
The researchers found that the mean number of applications was 2.4, the median number of applications was 2.1, and 11% of the participants applied their lipstick 4 or more times in one day. The mean amount per application was 5 milligrams, but 12% women applied as much as 20 milligrams or more at every application. This all added up to being a mean lipstick use of 24 milligrams per day, and a maximum use of 80 milligrams per day. Another series of studies done in Europe found that the mean daily use of lipstick was 24.6 milligrams. Several scientific studies I've read, including one looking at lipstick consumption and lupus erythematosus and this one on red lipstick and barium exposure, mention a statistic from the European Scientific Commission on Consumer Safety stating that the average daily aggregate exposure is 0.06 grams per day, or 60 milligrams per day. This statistic isn't just specific to consumption orally, however.
Maturity is attractive.
Maturity is often described as a comparison between which sex is stronger, women or men. Studies have shown that girls mature earlier than boys, the same way women do than men. It is reported that women reach proper psychological maturity much earlier than men, at the typical age of 32. Men are said to mature 10 to 11 years later than women, which means that while women reach proper maturity by 30, men reach that point by 40. Maturity demands that a person reach a level of psychosocial development where he or she learns to act, reciprocate and make decisions while taking ownership of those actions. So if women mature earlier, does it mean they are also more mature? Women's brains are wired for social interactions. But this does not mean they are more mature than men. A study shows that men are more emotionally mature than women, except that they repress how they feel as society dictates them to act strong and manly. A study in the UK gathered 2,000 men and women to study how each fall in love. Women fell in love 5 months into the dating stage while men realize it at the 3-month mark. Although it takes women to fall in love longer, the study found that they are able to express it faster. Women say the L word by the 6th month while men are only able to say it by the 9th month. Believe in love at first sight? A survey studied which sex believes in love at first sight. 10,000 people in relationships worldwide participated in the survey. The results showed 48% of men had fallen in love at first sight, while only 28% of women did.
The female body has a lower resistance to alcohol.
Household surveys indicate that alcohol use is more prevalent among men than women in the United States. In one survey, 34% of women reported consuming at least 12 standard drinks during the previous year compared with 56% of men. Among drinkers surveyed, 10% of women and 22% of men consume 2 or more drinks per day on average. Men are also more likely than women to become alcohol dependent. Women's drinking is most common between ages 26 and 34 and among women who are divorced or separated. Binge drinking, i.e., consumption of 5 or more drinks per occasion on 5 or more days in the past month, is most common among women ages 18 to 25. Among racial groups, women's drinking is more prevalent among whites, although black women are more likely to drink heavily.
THRY hate talking risk.
Women's fear of risk-taking begins before they enter the workplace. A paper published in Management Science showed that in a SAT-framed experiment, women skipped nearly twice as many questions as men despite similar knowledge of the material. Even though attempting questions they were unsure about would lead to higher scores by a ratio of 1 right answer to 3 wrong ones, something still stopped women from taking the risk. When the penalty was removed, they answered every question. Similarly, there's the commonly known finding from a Hewlett-Packard internal report showing that men apply for jobs when they meet about 60% of the qualifications, while women apply only if they meet 100% of them. Despite the potential for higher pay and position, some women would rather wait and bear the consequences than risk pursuing a position with inherent uncertainty. This impacts their career and well-being and disadvantages organizations that miss out on the hidden potential and expertise of their female employees.
The brain cells are packed more densely in the female brain.
If you're a lady still concerned about the size issues brought up in the first paragraph, let's address that now. In women's brains, the neurons are packed in tightly, so that they're closer together. This proximity, in conjunction with speedy connections facilitated by the white matter, is another reason why women's brains work faster. Some women even have as many as 12% more neurons than men do. In studying women's brains, psychologist Sandra Weidelson found that those neurons were most densely crowded on certain layers of the cortex, namely the ones responsible for signals coming in and out of the brain. This, Weidelson believed, may be one reason why women tend to score higher on tests that involve language and communication. And she came to believe that these differences were present from birth. We're as obsessed with finding answers as you are. But the density of women's neurons, much like the size of a guy's brain, isn't any sort of magic bullet for predicting intelligence. Scientists know this because they've conducted imaging studies on how men and women think. As we've said, men use gray matter, and women use white, but they're also accessing different sections of the brain for the same task. In one study, men and women were asked to sound out different words. Men relied on just one small area on the left side of the brain to complete the task, while the majority of women used areas in both sides of the brain.
They are the unsung heroes of inventions.
We often hear about inventors who made invaluable contributions to the world, such as the Wright brothers and Edison. However, many of the inventors to whom we owe much of modern technology were women, who not only pushed boundaries but did so while facing gender-based discrimination and legal battles for their work to be recognized as their own. From safe and sturdy motorcycle helmets to clearer X-rays, we owe much of the technology and discoveries we enjoy today to women.
Style over comfort.
For long, lingerie has remained a hidden and concealed piece of clothing, but women today are taking up bold fashion choices and filling up their wardrobes with new-age bralettes, spunky lingerie, and making more room for some comfy and sturdy support system, a sports bra. The lingerie business has seen a boom in the recent times and also witnessed the biggest sales growth in last 3 years, according to the NPD Group's consumer tracking service. Women of all ages are finding sports bras more comfortable. New York Post quoted Marshall Cohen, NPD Group chief analyst, as telling WWD. This major change in the lingerie business has also resulted in startups increasingly pivoting to the athletic sports bras. Even celebrities are unable to resist the comfort and ease and are taking sports bras to the red carpet.
Women can read faces.
On average, women are better at detecting emotions than men, according to the How Perceptive Are You? Test based on the reading of the mind in the eyes test created by Professor Simon Baron-Cohen at the University of Cambridge. The survey of 2,000 people in the UK measured their ability to detect emotions by looking into the eyes of another person. The research revealed that men are better at noticing lust and anger. Yet, women were better at detecting when someone is in a vulnerable position. Just 60.9% of male respondents noticed when someone was scared, compared to 70.8% of female participants. Yet, 57.7% of men detected interest, compared to 53.3% of women. Additionally, the difference was almost as large when respondents were asked to detect desire, with 41.9% of men noticing this emotion, compared to 38.9% of women.
Long live women.
One of the factors that affect longevity in men is that they are more likely to be seen with a cigarette hanging out of their mouths. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, 40% of men are smokers compared to 9% of women. Also, fewer women tend to abuse alcohol compared to men. Studies have also shown that compared to women, men are at a higher risk of developing diabetes and its complications like diabetic nephropathy and diabetic foot. Scientists have shown that testosterone may stimulate the prostate gland and increase the risk of prostate cancer. Also, studies have shown that testosterone improves reproductive function earlier in life but shortens the lifespan in the long run, antagonistic pleiotropy effect. Other than maintaining female sexual organs, estrogen helps in blood clotting, increases the level of good cholesterol and maintains gastrointestinal tract.
Which fact surprised you most? Tell us in comment section below. We love to know what you think, and that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.